Also breaking tonight, a guilty plea from a Rhode Island mobster in connection with a 2-decade-old murder case.
And it happened a short time ago. Robert Bobby DeLuca admitted in federal court in Boston to lying to investigators about the 1993 slaying of Boston nightclub owner Stephen DeSaro. Target 12 investigator Tim White has been on top of this case every step of the way. He joins us inside the mafia now, or takes us inside the mafia now, live in Boston with the Mobile Newsroom.
Well, the first thing you should know is no cameras are actually allowed into federal court, so let me paint the picture for you. Just a short time ago, Rhode Island mobster Robert Bobby DeLuca walked into federal court here in Boston. He was wearing a bright orange jumpsuit from the prison in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where he's being held, and his legs were in shackles. Now, DeLuca is pleading guilty to 3 counts of lying to federal investigators about what he knew of a 1993 murder of a Boston nightclub owner. You're looking at 2009 Target 12 footage of DeLuca. But as part of that plea agreement, he also pledged to return to Rhode Island and plead guilty to murder conspiracy in an unsolved mob cold case. And that's the 1992 shooting death of mob enforcer Kevin Hanrahan. No one has ever been charged in that case, so now all eyes are on the Rhode Island Attorney General's office to see if others will be charged. DeLuca has pledged to plead guilty to murder conspiracy. He was not the gunman in that homicide. Now, back here in Boston, his sentencing is scheduled for February 1st. I would not be surprised if that date moved based on what happens up here or with the case in Rhode Island. After the hearing, we met up with DeLuca's attorney and I asked him why his client had a change of heart and decided to plead guilty in this case. And we'll have for you what he said at 6 o'clock. For now, live in Boston with the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
Target 12 investigators taking you inside the mafia now. Just hours ago, Rhode Island mobster Robert Bobby DeLuca admitted to lying to investigators about the 1993 killing of Boston nightclub owner Stephen DeSaro.
And new at 6, we're hearing from DeLuca's attorney. Target 12 investigator Tim White has been tracking this case every step of the way. He joins us live outside federal court in Boston.
DeLuca, with his legs in shackles, walked into federal court here in Boston and pleaded guilty to charges that he lied to federal investigators, and in doing so, he breathed new life into an unsolved Federal Hill mob murder. Moments after pleading guilty, a caravan believed to be carrying Rhode Island mobster Robert Bobby DeLuca speeds away from court, heading back to a Plymouth prison where he is being held. DeLuca is implicated in 2 gangland slayings. In a Boston federal courtroom on Friday, he pleaded guilty to lying to investigators about what he knew of the 1993 murder of Boston nightclub owner Stephen DeSaro. His body was exhumed from a Providence Mill building in March, the property owned by an associate of DeLuca's. As part of the plea agreement, DeLuca also pledged to admit to his role in one of the biggest unsolved mob murders in recent Rhode Island history, the 1992 shooting death of Kevin Hanrahan. The feared mob enforcer was shot 3 times to the head walking out of a Federal Hill restaurant. No one has ever been charged with the crime. What was his role?
I can't comment on that. He hasn't been indicted yet. It's still an ongoing investigation.
Carlos Dominguez is DeLuca's defense attorney. Why did he decide to change his plea?
Why did he decide to change? Because he's guilty of it, and he wants to accept responsibility and go on. The guy's 70-something years old. I think it's his 3rd marriage. He's got 2 small children. They're living in Florida. He wants to get on with his life and see if he can get back to it quicker than he would otherwise.
Undoubtedly, he will face prison time, though.
Oh, no, there's no doubt.
Sentencing is set for February 1st here in Boston, though that date could move depending on what happens to the case here in Massachusetts and even down in Rhode Island. Live in Boston with the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Tim. The Target 12 investigators are always looking to uncover news. If you want to send a tip or report government waste, you can call our tip line at 228-1763 or email us at target12@wpri.com.